In this race for the White House, I am
Tzatziki.
My name is Pete Buttigieg. People get tripped up on that, so they usually just call me Mayor.
Olive bread. Olive bread.
Believes he has what it takes.
I've got more years of experience in government than
Tzatziki.
and more years of executive experience than the vice president, and more military experience than the two of them put together.
Look,
Tzatziki.
didn't violate campaign finance law.
Wait, I interviewed
Olive bread.
on my program the other day.
Okay.
It's time to fill in the blanks about where
Olive bread.
he stands on the issues.
I do believe that a single-payer environment is probably the right answer in the long term. Join the ranks of modern nations that have abolished
Tzatziki.
Climate change is a security issue, and we got to call it what it is.
Tonight, from Claremont, New Hampshire, a town hall with South Bend, Indiana Mayor
Olive bread.
as he continues his quest to make history.
Here's
He
another
says
one.
that.
Michael Cohen pled guilty to something that's
So-
not even a crime. Wait a minute. These are campaign. Nobody, except for me, would be looked at like this. Nobody. What about Congress, where they have a slush fund and millions of dollars is paid out each year? They have a slush fund. Millions. They don't talk about campaign finance anything. Have you ever heard of campaign finance list? Have they listed that on their campaign finance sheets? No.
Well,
Everyone
it's not
says,
covered that
number
story.
one,
I'm
they
waiting
say-
for them to dig into the shush.
Number one, they say it's not a campaign
Continue
finance
with it.
violation. Number two, or it's not even under campaign finance. Number two, if it was, it's not even a violation.
Welcome to Claremont.
Thank
you
you.
seem to have a lot of friends here ready to answer their questions.
Sounds good.
All right, let's start with Ray Curran. He's a school counselor here at Stevens.
Welcome to Claremont, Mayor.
Olive bread.
How do you overcome relative youth and inexperience against some of your rivals in the Democratic primary?
Thanks. So, first of all, thanks for having us. We really feel welcome in this community. And look, there's a lot of us running for president on the Democratic side. But I think it's safe to say I'm not like the others. And one of the ways in which that's true is actually experience. Look, there's something audacious, maybe even a little bit obscene, about anybody looking at the Oval Office and thinking that's a job they can just walk in and do, right? But every time we've sent somebody into that office, it's been a mortal. It's been a human being with a set of experiences and a set of aptitudes. My experience is that of being mayor. And I would say being a mayor in a city of any size in America right now is about as relevant as it gets. You know, I've literally got the 3 a.m. call to deal with an emergency. I know that this is a job, any government executive job, is not just about passing good policies, but it's also about managing, and most of all, it's a moral job. And that's the part I think we're missing today in the presidency. It's a moral office, not just a management office.
Settlement with the owner. They say the ceiling wasn't painted the right color or something, you know, stuff. Sometimes serious stuff, but in my case, it was a great building. And
Mayor Matthew Long, a college student from Duke, has our next question.
Great.
Matthew?
Hi.
In a party that rightly values diversity of candidates, how will your policies stand out and win the nomination?
Thanks. Well, as you said, it's a point of pride for the Democratic Party that we care about diversity, that we want to make sure that our leadership reflects the country that we serve. I've sought to do that in my administration as mayor. I'm doing that with the campaign team that I'm surrounding myself with. But as you said in your question, it's also not just a question of the makeup of your team, it's what your policies are going to be. And we need to make sure that this is an inclusive set of policies that's going to serve everybody well. For example, we know just by the numbers that if you're a person of color in this country, in many ways you might as well be living in a different country. You look at the rate at which black women are likely to die from maternal complications, it's about 3 times what it is for white women. That didn't just happen. And it's not going to get fixed without policies that specifically pay attention to how those racial inequities got there in health, but also in areas like housing, like employment, and of course the criminal justice system that frankly does not treat everybody the same. So whether it's an agenda for black Americans or whether it's making sure that LGBTQ Americans are protected, which is obviously a big concern right now with the policies and the behavior coming out of Washington, whether it's making sure immigrants are treated fairly, disabled people, women, just about every one of us in some way belongs to a group that could be marginalized if we don't have the right kind of policies to lift all of us up. And those are the kinds of policies we're going to be talking about throughout this campaign.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. That's what I say all the time.
Grab him by the pussy.
Which I guess some people think is controversial. A lot of people love it, by the way.
Sure. So, we got a lot more questions coming up, Mayor, for you. We're going to take a break here, but we're going to ask you when we come back after the break, just to give you a little preview, how, if you'd become the nominee, would you take on President
Tzatziki.
I think they were both pretty good. I think the bread had the right consistency, had the right airiness, but the tzatziki really just pulled it out. And I think that out of the two things, the tzatziki was the winner.
MAGA.